Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Inheritor back again with another replay analysis. This is going to be for Elvin. Sorry. This is going to be mode 1v1 for Diamond 1 rank. And I want to know how to generally improve their game sense and consistency. So let's see what we can find here. Good kickoff. You didn't try to go off the wall for it, or with that, so that's good. Okay, so right here, I'm not sure generally what you're looking at. Hopefully you're looking at your opponent here. But realistically, where they're positioned, and since you didn't have the ball on top of your car, you probably should have just played this side of the ball and stayed close. So when they did start to challenge here, you could have just probably just diagonally shot it before they even got to the ball in towards the net, and even still, if you didn't get it, you could run over here and grab this boost. But the other option could have been to go for a 50 here instead of just kind of sitting here. It's really the only two options you had there, is to have either played it to the side, or even still, if you were on this side, you could have tried to put it to the right of him. If you boosted more and got to this side of the ball, you could have put it to the side of him, even though he probably still would have gotten a touch. Your safest bet would probably to have been to hit it to the side over here and grab that boost and try to make some other play happen. Nothing you really could have done there after that happened. As you're dribbling, try to put yourself in a position where you can see the opponent. Right here, you can no longer see the opponent up until right here, and you're just guessing until then. So you really want to try and make sure you're going at a steeper diagonal angle. So instead of being this way, you'd want to be going this way, so you have your field of view is showing what they're doing, where they are. If they're going to challenge, that will determine whether you need to drop the ball off the top of your car or to try to flick them. Since you jumped here, you probably would have had a better option. The better option probably would have been to just double jump and see what happens. Even if you didn't score it, still would have stalled a little bit maybe. Thank you for actually utilizing your rear view camera. I haven't seen anyone actually use their camera to see where the opponent is, so well done there. Flipped a little early, no big deal. I'm not sure if you were actually trying to hit the ball or demo him or both. No big deal. Could have been worse. Generally with this play, you probably could have, instead of going all the way around him, I keep saying him, them, grab that mid boost and then turned around because they seem to be pretty low on boost. Guess they had more than I thought, but still, now they have full boost, and you could have prevented that. Bad idea going for a demo there. That was very, very risky. If they jumped over you, that would have been a goal on your part. Your safest bet with something like that is to, well, for one, notice the fact that the ball isn't even going towards their net, and you can see that right here. If this is going to hit off the wall somewhere up here, and it's just going to bounce back to where it is, or out this way, either which way, there's no way you can get back to it to score off of it. But back to what I was saying, even if you are going to go for a demo like this, I would stop early, make them jump, and then bump them. But that's only if you know the ball is going into their net. It's not worth going for a demo and risking getting scored on when the ball's not even going towards the net. So see, with that, after you demoed them, you turn around, or your vision clears up, and you see the ball's going towards the net. And if they had spawned in any sort of faster, you would have been scored on there. You didn't really... I know what you were aiming for, but it still would have been better if you tried to control it. So yeah, I would have definitely gone for a dribble play, and that's really what mostly you should do in ones, to be honest. But nicely done, utilizing your camera, trying to see your team, your opponent, and taking the ball back to your corner. As soon as you saw them jump, you really should have tried to make something happen to hit the ball, because you had a solid 2 seconds to do something, and you should have had enough time to really get there. So right here, you were already too late, pretty much, because you can't turn your car enough and get height to do something. So realistically, you have to be the proactive one. You can't wait for them to go for the ball, because they're going to do something like that. Even if the chances of them missing are high, it's still not worth risking this happening. So yeah, I would have definitely made sure I took control of the ball. I did miss that touch off the wall here, but I definitely would have, given their positioning, I definitely would have tried to bang it past them, because they were pretty close to the play. When this is happening, try to slow down and put the ball on the back end of your car, which will practically stop the ball. Well, it will stop the ball, which is what you want. Then you just back up just slightly, and it'll give it that forward momentum from rolling off your car. Then you keep driving forward and do your flick. But at this point, you were way too close. You would have had to have done it right now. No biggie, though. Still kept possession. Risky going off the wall for that, but no biggie. Good work going back rather than going for boost. Thank you. Not bad. I don't necessarily agree to going for air dribbles in ones, but you made it work. Unfortunate kickoff miss. Happens. You keep doing this, and I really just don't understand what you're going for. Right in front of the net, you just jump one time instead of actually flicking the ball. And I really can't gather what you're going for here. I can assume you're trying to fake them, but it's not working in your favor. I mean, you should just flick the ball. I personally go for a lot of 45-degree flicks, and I would have already flicked by now. Because it gets so much power. But, yeah. So when you're in front of the net and you're dribbling, just flick it. Because odds are you're not going to be able to fake people just yet anyway. And I'm not saying you're not skilled enough to. I'm just saying people at this rank just are not easily faked because they like to ball chase. It's risky turning for that. I would have gone for a fake challenge here. This is one of those situations where you couldn't see your opponent. So, really, after you got that touch off the wall, you should have just taken it across, taken the other boost. That was risky. Good demo. And again, you left yourself in a situation where you can't see the opponent. So, I think part of the problem is your camera settings, to be honest. It's so low. That doesn't help. The ball takes up more than, well, most of your visual area. However, you can still work with it. You just have to be more diagonal. As soon as you touched it off the wall, you probably should have followed it and cleared it because you just left, you literally passed it. Obviously, that's something you already would know. However, after you realize that you passed it, you shouldn't have jumped for it. Because that's, if it was going to go in, it would have gone in because you are so far out of the net and you jumped for that. Should have just repositioned yourself in net for the shot. Played it safe. So they're challenging early now. You should be flicking early. Or making your play happen early. I definitely would have tried to rush that fast. Oh, God. Okay, that works. The fact that you left the ball here, you didn't know where your opponent was, was your biggest mistake? Even after you messed up your flip there, or your wave dash, you should have probably turned on ball cam, and you probably could have ended up backflipping into that ball to actually make something happen instead of just leaving them with ball possession. See? Challenging early, you flicked early, you scored. Nicely done. See, here you just rushed your shot. You panicked and you rushed your shot. You could have placed yourself right here, your nose right here, and it would have just rolled right on in. And you had the boost to get there. Overall, it was a good game. Your biggest problem with not being able to predict your opponents is because you can't see them. That's pretty much what it comes down to. So, in situations like you're covering up the entire goal with the ball. You can't predict them because you can't see what they're doing or where they are at that fact. So not only do you not know where you need to aim to try to shoot at, to place the ball anyway, but you can't see the opponent at all, so you can't even tell other than pure sound where they are, what they're doing, whether they're boosting. Well, and when I say what they're doing, I mean whether they're boosting towards you or not. So that's, if you're going to run with these camera settings and you're not going to change them to be a little more different. I'm not going to specifically say changing a certain thing or anything, because obviously the camera settings are completely subjective. So if you're going to stick with these camera settings, you're going to have to try and go more diagonal with the ball, which means you also need to learn how to do 45-degree flicks, because that's really the only way you're going to be able to go from that hard of an angle. And that you would only have to go that hard of an angle because your camera settings are so close the way they are, and the ball just covers up everything. So it's hard to say. If you want some camera settings help, then feel free to ask me in Discord about camera settings. So, two things I noticed with predicting the play is, first of all, your camera settings, which I just went over. But the beginning of the game, you were really good about checking to see what the opponent was. After you lost the tie, and you lost the lead, and you're now down a goal, you pretty much stopped checking to see where they were, which I think was another big downfall. You lost opportunities on several plays because you didn't know what the opponent was doing. So the situation where you had the ball right in front of the net, it was going from over here and it was bouncing. You took it off the wall and it bounced in front of their net. Either you would have had to blast it as soon as it touched the ground into their net, or you would have had to take it all the way across because they were off the wall. And I didn't know where they were, so I know you didn't know where they were. I mean, don't get me wrong. We knew they were on the wall, but I didn't know what they were going to do, and that tells me you also didn't know what they were going to do. So you really got to make sure you're keeping an eye on your opponent, which is really gonna alter what you do in your plays. So in a dribbling situation, if you can't see your opponent, you can't tell when they're like where they are to challenge. So if or you can't even read it in general. I mean, you don't know if you need to flick early. You don't know if you need to flick a certain way. It's just difficult to do much of anything if you can't tell what your opponent is doing or how they're doing a certain thing. In terms of your consistency, it's really just a matter of training, man. There's nothing I can really tell you in regards to what you... Based off of your gameplay, you have decent mechanics. You didn't fail to flick the ball anytime you actually flicked it. I did notice you did your little hop thing, which like I said, I made the assumption that you're going for a fake, but it's not working. But regardless, if you want to get more consistent, practice in free play. And personally, if I don't know if I'm assuming you're on console, but I don't know if you are on PC and you're running through Steam right now, then I would advise getting the Dribbling Challenge Workshop maps. That will help with your ball control on your car. And you can also practice flicks while doing that. If you're on console, well, you're just going to have to go into free play and do it the old school way. And if you need to learn how to do certain flicks, you're more than welcome to go into the coaching request room and request a specific flick, a mechanic, whatever. Whether it's a half flip or a 45-degree flick. Those are probably the most used things you'll see in regards to quote-unquote advanced mechanics. You shouldn't really be going for any sort of musty flick or breezy flick or 180-degree flicks. I mean, those are all fancy things to do if you're like 6-0. But realistically, based off of what I saw, the one time you missed an open net which was really the only open net opportunity that I really remember, with the exception of the one that you took off the wall. You just played it too slow. Was at the end where it was a kickoff. It could have been a kickoff goal. And you just rushed it and tried to jump at it to get the angle on the ball. Whereas all you had... English. What you really had to do was place yourself underneath the ball, just the nose of your car, at a diagonal angle with ball cam off, and you could have just placed yourself right where you needed to be, facing the net, and the ball would have gone right there. But that's really all I got for you. If you have any other questions, please feel free to ask me in my Discord. You know how to get a hold of me. Just keep it up. Mainly focus on really trying to remember to locate your opponents and make sure you can see them, including when you're on offense. I would definitely consider looking into better camera settings. At least for 1v1s. Because you really just can't see anything. when you have the ball on top of your car. But yeah, other than that, just keep practicing in free play on those flicks. That's about all you can do. If you could actually see your opponent, I would be able to tell you how to go about predicting your teammate in the situations that you can't. Or I keep saying teammate, man. I can't English today. But because every situation you're dribbling, the ball is covering up the opponent, so I can't see what they're doing to tell you how to predict what they're doing. So, at least consider for the next replay analysis to change your camera settings up so you can actually see around, see over the ball. I mean, don't get me wrong. My ball will cover up some of the area as well when I'm dribbling, but I do the little diagonal angle, and I do a lot of 45-degree flicks, as I said. So, I learned to play around it. So either which way, we'll get there in the future. I hope this video helped you, man. If you have any other questions, like I said, hit me up on my Discord. I will answer as soon as I can. I hope this helps you, and I wish you the best of luck with your future games. And as always, I'll catch you next time. Skirt.